Hello, everybody. Welcome to MO5000x7. I'm your host, Mo. Come on into the show. We're going to chop it up right now. We got some stuff that we need to talk about, so I'm giving everybody time to get in the room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Clap it up, clap it up. It's time to get busy up in here for real. If you want to donate to the channel, hit me at Cash App at Mo Nature. It's MON, the number 8TR. That's Cash App. $sign MON, the number 8TR. Mo Nature. Come on in. We're going to chop it up. Let's get right to it. Straight out the gate, I want to say RIP to a very fine, esteemed actor, Gene Hackman, and his lovely wife. They were found today. There might be some possible foul play, actually yesterday, but there's news still coming out today. But Gene Hackman, a very fine movie actor, well studied, recognized by his peers, classics all day long. A tragic loss to the family and friends, prayers to his family and friends and his wife and all that they're connected to. If you don't know his name, it's Gene Hackman. All right, y'all. Let's get into the government and the FBI. They are trying to partner with the UFC, possibly to train some of their officers in combat training. The FBI has reached out to the UFC for certain training. And there's a possibility that there might be some training for the officers and agents to learn some of the hand-to-hand combat, in particular moves to deal with combative people. This is your government. This is your government. There's a story that happened today. Let's check this out. There's a story that happened today. There was a girl and her friend that went along with her to get revenge on her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, I should say. She enlisted her friend to go get some spray paint, and they were going to tag up this car of his, mess it up, do all kinds of things to it. So they go in the middle of the night, they get to the car, the ex-girlfriend goes in and starts painting it. She's really into it, got all off into it, painting it all kinds of crazy colors. I think the color she used was bright yellow. The car was black. Wrote all kinds of things on there. Come to find out, it was the wrong car.
Not like that.
And they got caught.
No me, not like
And
that.
they got caught. And so now they're looking at some serious charges for messing that whole thing up, and their friend as an accomplice. So my question today is, would you go along with a friend to do wrongdoing and support? As twisted as that sounds, would you go along with a friend to do wrong to someone else in support of your friend? Is that the right thing to do? I don't know. But let's spit that hot fire. Let's spit that dragon fire. Let me tell you what. If I catch somebody fooling around with my stuff, man, you're going to be in for it. You and your friend. So I would highly suggest that you don't bring nobody with you if you're coming around my way, or anybody's way for that matter. We live in a crazy time, man, where people can step outside, pull that heater out, or like I used to say, pull out that McDonald's gun. What's a McDonald's gun? A McDonald's gun is the one that goes fa-da-fa-fa-fa. They ain't just shooting one time. It's multiple shots. So when you hear that slogan, fa-da-fa-fa-fa, I'm loving it, you might think twice. There's people out here that's wild, man. That's straight up real. But that's just hot fire. Let's spit that dragon fire. Yesterday we talked about somebody getting locked up in a storage unit, and what would you do to get out, and how would you get out? How would you act? How are you supposed to be civil? And we live in a crazy day and age where people got phones, they're recording stuff. You don't know what's real, what's fake. If it's a TikTok or a YouTube video or somebody trying to be famous for a few minutes or whatever, not time, a few minutes. Be famous for a few minutes. People are doing crazy things nowadays. you got to be aware that there's some other folks that'll try to combat that. Let's go off into another segment before we go too far.
Go too far.
So, the government is now trying to touch base with Apple to get into your iPhone, to get into the back data, to see what's going on with you. There's other countries where the government has already got into those kind of stages of learning to get into phones and crack them, get into the codes to get into the data and see what's going on for whatever purposes the government want to do. There's a huge violation with all of that as people are protesting about that, but now it's on our soil. So that's the news of today. That's starting to come out today where people are starting to talk about that. Do you think it's right for your government to be up in your phone like that? And if not, what are you prepared to do? What are you prepared to do about it? It's coming near you. And before we go too far, the measles are starting to pop up again. And now there's new reports and new cases in Washington, Seattle, New Jersey, Kentucky. They're starting to show up even though the weather's getting warmer and you don't necessarily associate the measles with a particular type of weather pattern. But it's starting to ramp up and it's showing up in more places than one. The measles are on the move. It's not a pandemic. It's not anything to be like rushing to go do something about, but you need to be aware where these things are showing up and how people are treating the measles and what can you do to combat certain things, because it is on the rise. There were early reports of it last week and now it's starting to spread to other territories, other ranges. These are things that might go too far. So we need to put some eyes on that and see what's going on. Speaking of things going on, again, we're in the last day of February, Black History Month. I hope everyone has learned something about people in this country that have been unnoticed for so many different things. And it's part of your history. It's part of American history. People always start Black History Month with slavery. And you have to ask yourself, what were they doing before there was slavery? Were these people into building and health and mathematics and astronomy, astrology, science, writing techniques, inventions? You know, we're a very inventive people. We keep creating. We create so much. Even our new ideas seem corny because in another minute or two, we'll be creating something to outdo that. That's just how Black folks are. You'll notice that when you look up inventions and you go into patents and research, usually some of your greatest historians who have created inventions had a Black man standing right next to them who probably invented it and weren't allowed to put their names on those patents. Back in those times, you couldn't do that. So the credit went somewhere else. But these are things on the last day of Black History Month that you want to go in and just do some research on that before you go into some other stuff. It's a cultural thing and it's your history too. It's important. Let me stop what I'm doing. Let me give a big shout out to Mother Nature Bars with a Z. That's right, the group Mother Nature. That's my daughter, Clever, aka Scooby-Doo. They are going to be dropping new music. The album is going to be called Caps and Stems. Caps and Stems. You're going to see them everywhere. You see them rocking their gear. It's really a really cool deal. Mother Nature. You can find them on mothernaturebars.com. They're on Instagram. They're on all social media, all platforms, iMusic, whatever music you want to get it on, you can catch them there. They're going to be everywhere, and there's going to be performances coming up soon. So I'm real proud of my kids. You can tell Najah Knox, my son, is the master on the film, who's going to be doing a lot of film. I'm going to be giving your information out soon. And you guys can get at him if you want dynamic videos. If you're in the Houston, Texas area, that's the guy you want to come see. He will be ready for you, and I hope you have ideas to share because he's going to make it look spectacular. So shout outs to Najah Knox. That information will be coming soon when everything is laid out and we can start channeling business his way. To my other son, GQ, aka Gabriel Knox, I'm so proud of him too. As a young man, you are doing what you're supposed to do. You're keeping our family strong and holding the family down. February has been a trying month for our family because we're all spread out. There's so many different dynamic things happening right now that's got us moving around and doing things. And cohesiveness is what we have to have. And so I'm proud of all of my children for doing things to keep us locked in, because at the end of this thing, we're really going to celebrate. And you're going to see how we celebrate and get down. So shout outs to GQ, shout outs to Najah, shout outs to Scooby-Doo. What a wonderful, wonderful group of kids I got, that not only put our face everywhere on a national scene and international scene, but kind to one another in the communities that we're in, and outstanding being someone to lean on and depend on. So shout outs to my kids. I'm so glad that they got that. Let's get back to that hot fire. Let's get that dragon fire. So we're talking about Trump, and I think as of right now, he's laid off about 800 people in the government. Matter of fact, it's not 800 in the government. It's more than that. It's up in the thousands range, for dropping people and cutting and streamlining the government to get money going, to get things going again. And there's people that are feeling a certain way about that, that's having a tough time. But one department in particular, NOAA, or the Center for Weather and Prediction, operation that deal with weather, they lost 800 people in their department. And those cuts will continue. 800 newly hired people got slashed, cut off. And these people also predict the weather, hurricane season, any of the floods, flash floods. Some of these people that lost their jobs directly work for these models that they use to predict weather in certain situations. So as these storms come and those people or jobs are not filled, you can imagine some of the chaos that may lead to, why didn't we know that? How did this happen? If there's some things where the forecast gets a little rough and tough, and everybody is caught off guard. So again, these are from the massive cuts that the president has put in play to start getting money going, to get the action going, and for the leeches and people who are taking from the government and not really doing the work, time is up. They got to figure some stuff out. I saw some broadcasts where there were people that were collecting checks that are dead. The government is paying folks that are dead, and they're 110s and 120-year-old people. And there's money being collected and going somewhere, and it's a fleecing of America. There's money that's being taken and going somewhere else. And you got to figure that stuff out, man. You got to figure it out. When something like that happens, it's usually live. But right now, let's get all the way live. So let's say it together. Yeah, all the way live. That's when things start happening. People start pressing stuff. Like I said, when you start cutting people's jobs, man, you get people that start acting wild. They want to go all out. They want to start pressing the issue. Sometimes they want to go bring out their McDonald's gun. What's a McDonald's gun? A McDonald's gun is the one that goes ba-da-ba-ba-bow. I'm loving it. That's how people start taking things into their own hands, taking justice into their own hands. And they start wilding out. You start slashing jobs and you start playing with things. You start interrupting people's cash flow and trying to figure out how to make ends meet. It's going to get... You expect good things to come and you don't let people know how to blend in and work together to solve problems. Guess what's going to happen? I need you to be aware when things get all the way live, and the way that you calm that down is to work together. So let me not doom and gloom, because the future says all things are going to be good. people that continue to do good, keep continuing to do good. And you inspire others that are around you, because that's what we're here to do. And when things get a little too dark and gray, turn to your people. Turn to your trusted sources and try to figure stuff out. And you share that good information with everyone so that we can figure it out. And as we move around the world, you can see all the places that we getting ready to attend. We're going to be bringing that news. We're going to be bringing that music. We got words of good cheer. We have things to get you motivated, things to attack and deal with. Crush, do whatever you got to do. Because sometimes you got to cut the nonsense and get right to the good stuff. So with all that being said, let me tap out before the buzzer sounds. My name is Mo. This is MO5000x7. People say, what does that mean? 5,000 is a word that's old school. LL Cool J invented it. He used to say Audi 5,000, like out of here 5,000. But Audi is a car. 5,000 is the model of the car. So you just say 5,000. So 5,000 and the number 7 represents perfect, perfection, wholeness. So I'm out of here perfectly. Till next time, you know what the deal is.